Welcome back to Savage Showdowns. This week we are returning to the battle arena. This week in the battle arena, we will have a Ceratosaurus facing off against a Carnotaurus. But first, if you like this content, please give it a like and consider subscribing. It's free and it really helps the channel out. First off, let's take a look at Ceratosaurus. Size. Ceratosaurus was a medium-sized theropod dinosaur measuring approximately 18 to 22 feet in length and standing 6 to 7 feet tall at the hip. It weighed between 1,100 and 2,100 pounds, or roughly a ton. Strength. Ceratosaurus had a powerful, flexible body with strong hind limbs for movement and muscular forelimbs ending in sharp claws, which were most likely, though not definitively, used for grabbing and slashing prey, or possibly in mating. Its bite was strong, capable of puncturing deep into flesh, though it was not the most powerful among theropods. Speed. Estimates for Ceratosaurus give it a max speed of between 20 and 30 miles per hour. Its long legs and lightweight frame allowed for decent bursts of speed, useful for ambushing or chasing prey in dense forested environments. Stealth. Its relatively narrow build, low posture, and possible solitary habits suggest it likely had both a stealth-based lifestyle and stealth capabilities, relying on surprise attacks rather than direct chases when hunting. Weapons and armor. For weapons, Ceratosaurus had long, blade-like teeth, strong jaws, clawed arms, which, unlike other theropods, were functional and weaponized. It had a large nasal horn, likely used for display, intimidation, and possibly even combat, though this is not super likely. For armor, it had small osteoderms, or tiny bone nodules along its back, providing limited natural armor. It also likely had some scalation, and while not heavily protected, these structures may have helped deflect glancing bites or slashes. So how does the Carnotaurus stack up? Size. Carnotaurus was slightly larger, reaching 25 to 30 feet in length, standing about 9 to 10 feet tall at the hips and weighing 2,800 to 4,600 pounds. It was one of the most lightly built large theropods, built more for speed and agility. Strength. Carnotaurus had massive neck muscles and a strong skull, and though its bite force was believed to have been relatively weak, with estimates being less than 3,500 newtons, it was more focused on rapid strikes than crushing power. It likely relied on speed and head movement for slashing attacks with its horns, similar to a jackhammer. Speed. Carnotaurus was one of the fastest large theropods, with top speeds estimated between 30 and 35 miles per hour. Its long legs, rigid tail, and lightweight build allowed for rapid acceleration and excellent balance, making it a deadly sprinter. And while larger than Ceratosaurus, Carnotaurus may have used its high speed for ambush tactics. It wasn't built for silence, but its narrow body and forward-facing eyes suggest it could approach prey quickly and with precision, likely meaning that it would get as close as it could before bursting into an open sprint versus normal ambush tactics. Weapons and armor. Weapons. Carnotaurus had short, robust skulls with sharp teeth and distinctive bull-like horns above their eyes, possibly used for headbutting, intraspecific combat, or display. Its arms were nearly useless, but its jaws and horns were both functional primary weapons. For armor, fossil impressions reveal bony osteoderms along its sides and back as well, offering natural armor against bites and slashes. It likely also had some scalation. In addition, its dense muscular frame and bone-reinforced skull provided additional structural defense. So those are our two competitors, but who wins? Let's find out. And I will preface this fight by saying that we will be assuming both of them use their horns for combat, not because this is accurate according to current scientific understanding, but because I think it is cool and will make for a better fight. The late afternoon sun bled over the open savanna, shadows stretching like claws across the parched ground. Heat shimmered over a dry riverbed, and from its edge emerged a Ceratosaurus, its reddish hide patterned with dark stripes blending into the dusty earth. The horn atop its snout caught the sunlight, glinting like a drawn blade. Across the clearing, a Carnotaurus stepped into view. Taller, broader, and heavier, its deep-set eyes locked onto the smaller predator. The bony horns above its eyes angled forward to a silent but unmistakable challenge. For a long moment, neither moved, their tails stiff and their breathing slow. The standoff ended in an instant. Carnotaurus surged forward, accelerating with terrifying speed. Its long legs and rigid tail kept it balanced as it barreled forward towards its opponent. horns angled for a decisive strike. The Ceratosaurus darted sideways, narrowly avoiding the full brunt of the impact. As Carnotaurus thundered past, the smaller predator lashed out with its muscular forelimbs, claws raking across its rival's flank. The first strike blew blood, but the row of bony scoots along Carnotaurus' side deflected much of the damage. Carnotaurus wheeled around with surprising agility, swinging its head like a living battering ram. One horn was able to clip Ceratosaurus' rib, leaving a shallow but painful gash. The Ceratosaurus hissed and backed off, circling, keeping its narrow body angled away from the larger theropod's frontal charge. The next engagement came fast. Ceratosaurus lunged in, jaws clamping down on Carnotaurus' neck. Teeth punctured flesh, and the larger predator bellowed in pain. But Carnotaurus' massive neck muscles tensed, and with a violent sideways jerk, it broke free. The move brought its horns smashing into the side of Ceratosaurus' skull, dazing it and forcing it back, while also tearing through the flesh on its neck. Blood streaked from both animals now. Ceratosaurus struck again, this time aiming low, claws tearing into the softer muscle of the Carnotaurus' thigh. The wound made the heavy predator falter for just a heartbeat, giving the Ceratosaurus a chance to snap at its tail, scoring another shallow, but not really effective bite. Carnotaurus was built for more than brute strength. Its speed was its deadliest weapon, and with a sudden burst, it closed the gap, lowering its head in a bull-like rush. The horns crashed into the Ceratosaurus' ribs with bone-cracking force, lifting it off its feet and sending it sprawling across the dust. The Ceratosaurus wheezed, sides heaving, pain radiating from fractured ribs. The larger predator pressed the advantage, jaws snapping and tearing at the Ceratosaurus' shoulder. The smaller theropod lashed out with its tail in desperation, missing. The whip, however, almost missing, but the whip-like tail smacked the Ceratosaurus across the face, and followed up with a kick from its leg. It was knocked momentarily off balance. They separated, circling once more, both bloodied and panting, dust hung in the air between them. Carnotaurus' head dropped slightly, but its eyes never left its opponent. Ceratosaurus' horn snout dripped crimson, sides rising and falling in ragged breaths. The final clash came with no warning. Carnotaurus lunged forward in one last burst of speed, horns driving for the kill. The Ceratosaurus twisted, clamping its jaws deep into the base of its rival's neck. The clearing erupted with snarls and the metallic scent of blood. When the dust finally settled, one form lay still in the riverbed's dust. The other, battered but alive, limped away beneath the setting sun. Carnotaurus wins. Ultimately, this fight was once again a fight determined by size. And while it isn't, and again, I will say, it is not known if either of these predators used their horn, and it's currently believed that they didn't. For combat, I decided to have both do so for a more interesting fight. As a result, the Carnotaurus' size, plus its charging capabilities and speed, were able to do serious damage and ultimately kill the Ceratosaurus, simply due to raw impact power, and not the strength of its jaws. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Feel free to suggest any future fights. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next Savage Showdown.